Good. So recording has been started. Good to see that. Thank you so much for the cooperation. I don't know what's happening, and that is specifically happening with only this class. Let's wait for just 30 seconds for others to join, and then we'll move ahead. Other students who haven't joined yet, you may circulate the link so that they join as quickly as possible. Okay, sharing my screen. Let's move ahead. Good. So, as it was told yesterday from my side, that in this session we are going to explore the interface of finance and analytics. Now, as I have already stated, my dear friends, the kind of data which the finance domain generates on a daily basis, specifically if I tell you about the stock markets, it is just too huge. On a daily basis, there are crores of lakhs of transactions are being entered. And if those transactions are analyzed further, it can give you very conclusive evidence about the future trends. It is not just limited to the stock market. It is further extended to the various other areas of the finance domain. Let's see that where analytics is right now too much applicable when it comes to the finance. One is the project risk evaluation. That's the first one. Everyone should be able to identify that. Now, whenever the companies are investing in any of the projects, if they want to know about the risk and uncertainties, that if some unwanted change occurs during the lifetime of the project, then how the project will react to it. What will be the updated benefits from the project? How sensitive the project will be? How volatile the cash inflows and cash outflows from that project would be. So that is been done priorly. It is not something which will be done when actually we'll be facing the uncertainty. No, that's been done priorly. That if some kind of changes are occurring, then how the project cash inflows and outflows will react to it. The sensitivity as well as the volatility of the project cash inflows and outflows are identified right today. And for that, my dear friends, you will have to predict certain outcomes. You will have to take certain assumptions that what will happen if some kind of a change will take place. What will happen if this kind of a change will take place? If you change one variable, what will be the effect on the ultimate outcome? What if the useful life of the project gets reduced only to 8 years from the previously calculated 10 years? What will be the effect on the overall profitability from that project? What are the probabilities of various combinations of cash inflows and outflows in the project? In the year number one, obviously you cannot measure the absolute amount. You cannot predict the absolute amount which you are going to generate from the project. There would be the probabilities assigned with the various outcomes. There would be a various amounts, and those amounts would have the assigned probabilities. So how do you take any decision before investing any projects, specifically if those decisions are irreversible in nature? specifically if those decisions are very long term in nature. That is to be done at the very initial stage, at the inception of the project itself, and that's where the analytics is done. Can you imagine the project of Geo Reliance? Before entering into this, the kind of analysis that they would have done, that how many number of subscribers they would be able to gain in the year number 1, year number 2, year number 3, what will be the projected revenues from it, what will be the impact of the marketing strategy of the Geo on its revenue. When it comes to the marketing strategy and consumer perception, it's about the marketing analytics. But if we want to analyze its effect on its revenues and profitabilities and other ratios, the finance comes into the picture. And obviously, it's the interface between the two, right? Now, if you are making and at those projects, the investments are done at the gigantic amounts, 2 lakhs crores, 3 lakhs crores. That is the amount of investment. No one can take these decisions intuitively. There has to be tremendous amount of analysis to be done before entering into that project. Forecasting and predicting the share prices by using the ARIMA model, exponential smoothing, multivariable regression, various other modeling models can be there for forecasting the share prices. You may take the historical figures into account. You may project it by extrapolating the historical trends. You may make certain adjustments in the future outcomes, and you try to see that where the price would be after some time, after some period of time. And over there too, you can prepare various scenarios, that what will be the price if such kind of a situation take place, what will be the price if this much would be the revenue of the company. A lot of scope for the analytics there. A tremendous analytics has been already been done in the algorithmic trading, my dear friends. Now that is the future of the trading. I would be underestimating it if I would say it's the future. It's already the present. There are various tools and apps given to you right now for the algorithmic trading. You prepare the algorithm based on your requirement, and the software will be automatically putting the buy and sell orders. The algorithms can be based on the statistical tools, can be based on mathematical models. You put it in the algorithm that if such kind of a situation arises, you want to trade in the shares, you want to put the buy orders. Algorithms are placed, my dear friends, to identify the differences in the markets. That is also called as the arbitrage. Say, for example, you are coming from the Marwadi University, and the next stop comes somewhere around, say, the Bedi Gam. Bedi is the village we have. Over there, some of the vegetables are selling at 50 rupees per kg. And then you are coming to the Raya circle, and at the Raya circle, the same vegetables are being sold at 70 rupees per kg. You try to take the advantage of this price difference. The quality of the vegetables is same. The fundamentals of the vegetables is same. What you are doing, you will be purchasing from one place and you are selling at a different place at the same time. And just in a fraction of second, you are earning the humongous amount of profits. Such kind of arbitrage opportunities are being generated on a daily basis. These softwares automatically identifies these arbitrage opportunities. If some of the shares are traded at the lower price in one exchange, and at the another exchange they are traded at the higher price, it will automatically place the order at one exchange for buy and at another exchange for sell. Algorithmic trading is the virtual reality, my dear friends. You must have observed about, if you go to some of the websites like Money Control, some of the current affair websites like Economic Times, over there you can see the sentiment of the market. You can explore that in the money control. You may go over there and check it out. The sentiment of the money, the sentiment of the people towards particular share, towards particular index, or towards the entire market. Whether the sentiment is positive or negative. How do you identify that? I have come across with one of the algorithm being been employed by the people there. They have been using the Twitter and various other social media websites, and they try to do the text analytics. Sorry. Say for example, you are putting the words like this share will go down. So down will be taken as a negative word sentiment. So they try to analyze every tweets, every kind of a social media posts on one particular share, on one particular company for some period. They try to run the algorithms based on it, and then they see that what kind of words are being repeated, whether the energetic words, the positive optimistic words are being repeated the most, or the negative sentiment words are being repeated the most. You will have to assign the sentiment as well with the various words, and from this analytics they try to evaluate that whether the sentiment is positive or negative towards that stock. They also use the public profile. What if you are maintaining a public profile and you are putting the posts and comments in various financial pages and domains? They try to evaluate it. If you are putting the comment below the Economic Times related to any of the stock or related to any of the market movement, it will be taking that into the analytics. So trying to know the sentiment of the people, because if you are aware about the sentiment, you can make your long-term as well as the short-term strategy for the trading. Then technical analysis of the securities, identifying the price movements, where the prices are getting the support, where the prices are getting the rejections. What is the long-term trend of the stock. So all such sort of the things, you try to evaluate the chart patterns. Yes, there are various chart patterns. Those chart patterns also gives you the idea about the possible, upward and downward reversal of the trend. You try to evaluate those chart patterns. So similar sort of things can be prepared by us by visualizing the data, or we may also rely on certain tools which are already there in the market. Then it comes the business valuation models. If one business is being sold to another business, there has to be the proper valuation of that business. If Reliance Jio's 10% of the stack is being sold to the Facebook, then there has to be a proper valuation. If there would be an overvaluation, then also there would be a problem. And it shouldn't be the undervaluation from the Reliance side as well. So how do you value any company? Obviously not by the historical experience, because now the company will be evaluated based on what it is going to offer in the future. You are going to predict the future revenues, the future cash inflow, future cash outflows of that particular brand or company. Then you try to see that what is the cumulative amount of benefits you are going to get if you get the 10% stake in that company. You try to evaluate the value of any company, any business, any brand by projecting the cash inflows and cash outflows from that particular company for n number of years. For that too, the analytics comes into the picture, my dear friends. You make your own trading strategies. There are certain applications which allows you to make your own trading strategies in the derivatives as well as in the spot market. You put your requirement that Say there is one tool called MACD, moving average, convergence and divergence. I'm not giving you the explanation about it, I'm just giving you the brief idea that if you identify one tool which is a moving average, convergence and divergence, and if you put one trading strategy into your algorithm or into your software, that if the MACD is lower than 1 then I want to buy, and if the MACD is more than 1 then I want to sell. It is a very very simple kind of algorithm. You can also put various other logical reasoning, or I say the logical validations before entering into any trade. You prepare your own strategies based on the statistical and mathematical tools. Projection of the financial trends of the financial statement items. How do you evaluate that whether you should invest in one particular company or not? Or any investor would evaluate that whether this particular company is worth to invest or not. You evaluate, you try to predict, you try to forecast the future financial information. And if necessary, then you also try to adjust the future adjustments. I mean, if it is been known to you that after three years this company is going to expand further into this business, possible scenario is that this company may expand further into so or so business. You try to adjust that variable right now and you try to predict the new amounts. Evaluating investors' risk appetite by historical data mining. There are various tools which first take the information from your social media web pages or websites or any of the social media accounts, and from the social media accounts they try to evaluate that whether you are the aggressive kind of an investor, or you are a moderate kind of an investor, or you are a liberal investor, a stable conservative investor who do not want to take too much of risk. How you are reacting to the things which are happening around the world. And some mathematical models will be developed to score your aggressiveness, your aggression. And based on that, investors' risk appetite can be found, that how much that particular fellow will be willing to risk. My dear friends, it's always been said that if you, and this has already been done, this data has been sold to the people on a continuous basis. It's not something which is going to happen in the future. It's already the reality. If something is offered to you for free, consider yourself as the product there. If anything is offered to you at free of cost, you are the product. Your information will be sold. Your taste and preferences will be sold. Your sentiments will be forecasted, will be predicted, and based on that, you would be given the various suggestions to buy the products or to buy any of the financial services. This is already being done. Scanning and investing trading opportunities. Now, the biggest problem right now is that how do you scan any opportunity? If you are establishing one parameter to trade, then how do you find, do you have the time to go to each and every company and check that whether that parameter is satisfied to enter into a transaction? No. There has to be some dashboards. I had also prepared the similar kind of a dashboard in the Excel itself, where it was giving me, I generally prefer the volume. Volume tells you about the quantity, that what is the quantity at which the trades are entered for the day. And sometimes I try to rely too much on the volume, because volume can be increased. I mean, see, if there is a great volume of purchase and sales, it's not happening because of the normal individual investors like you and me. We are the Chandu guys. हमारे कारण पूरा मार्केट ऊपर नीचे नहीं होता. There are the big gigantic players who can create the volume in the market. So I had put one formula in the Excel that I'll show you that dashboard as well. That, if the moving average of the today's volume or the last day's volume of any stock is more than the 7 days moving average, if the last day's volume is more than the moving average of last 7 days, that is the sign that it is a greater volume on that day. And if it is a greater volume in that day, that means many of the people are interested in that stock, in that share, and I can enter into a position. Now, if I can do it here, these are the big, gigantic financial business houses. They have a lot of systems into a place. And I tell you, in 80 of the 100 scenarios, you can go right. Optimizing the capital structure by putting the constraints. Capital structure माने क्या? The sources of finance. So which sources of finance and the appropriate mix of which source of finance is the most beneficial to the company? You try to optimize those figures. You try to apply some linear programming there. You try to apply some simplex method there, optimization methods there, by putting some constraints, then you get the best possible outcome for you, or at least the suggestion for the best possible outcome for you. Automation of working capital management processes. You are trying to manage your current assets and current liabilities in your business, in your startup, or in whatever the company you are working with. So what should be the appropriate working capital ratios? How much current assets should be as compared to the current liabilities? This everything would be calculated automatically, and you would be given the designed levels, predefined levels in which you will have to keep your debtors. And if you will be putting more debtors than the predefined level which you have already established in the system, then it will give you a alert that, see, you have more debtors now. You should not allow too much of credit to other debtors now because your risk position would be too high. Such kind of things can be developed by us as well. In a simple Excel file, we can use some of the other programming languages as well, like Python or something, and we can build such models. Automation of any sort of the business procedure can happen if you use coding and programming for those processes. I hope that's pretty much clear. It is just a brief example and the overview I'm giving. It can further be extended to so many other areas. And why finance is more inclined towards the analytics? The primary reason behind it is that it is a number driven subject. It is not a subjective behavioral kind of a subject. Here you have the exact cause and effect relationship. You cannot say it depends. In the behavioral kind of the subject, you can say it depends. It depends on how people behave. It depends on how you treat others. It depends on how you identify. It depends on how you do the networking. Here you cannot say it depends because everything is numerically, objectively proved. Then only you take the decision here. I'm not saying that you will be right all the time. Absolutely no. Your predictions can go wrong, hell wrong. But still, it's the number driven subject. And if anything in the commerce background is near to the science, then it is the finance and economics. Finance is also not being given as the subject of science actually till now, because finance also involves various behavioral aspects which cannot be numerically justified. If any of the professors in any university gets the Nobel Prize award in the finance, no, they get it in the economics category, not in the finance category. Even finance is not recognized as the science, because to get recognized as the science, you need to have the principles, you need to have the proven quantifiable principles, which is not there in any of the subjects of the commerce. But yes, finance is quite near to it. People have started giving the Nobel Prize in the finance, but in the economics category they give. Economics has been considered as the finance, is the science, sorry. So anyway, this is the interface of finance and analytics. Anything you would like to say more about it? Anything you would like to know more about it? Let me know. Waiting for your interactions. Let me see if there is any chatbot reactions. Not yet. Good. May I have a confirmation till now that everyone is there with me? All of you? Okay, miss. I've got it from everyone. Good. Really good. Nice to see that. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's go to now the time value of money, which is the blood and soul of the financial management. You people might already have got the exposure of the time value of money in your graduation if you are belonging to the commerce background. And if you are not belonging to the commerce background, then also it's perfectly fine because we are going to start it from the very scratch. Time value of money. May I have the opinions from the students that what do you understand by the time value of money? May I have the interaction from the students, please? Take your time of 1 minute. Try to think about it. You can communicate by unmuting yourself or by putting the comments in the chat box. Would anyone like to say about it? Anything which you are aware about, anything you have come across with. What do you understand by the time value? Yes, Miss Veronica.
Um, I I got this from a lady who runs a personal financial management course in so I had
Miss
this during
Veronica,
an
your voice
interview,
is
and
being cut.
she was saying,
Your voice is cutting. I'm not able to hear it properly.
okay, just give me a minute.
Okay. Miss Hemal is saying that, sir, it refers to the worth of money over a period of time. Okay, right on the track. Value of money changes with the time. Good. A type of inflation concept may deteriorate its value. Veronica. Yes, Veronica, you wanted to say something, please.
Yeah, she was her explanation was if you are someone who's employed and you spend, say, for example, $10 on lunch each and every day, the same value of money will be supposing you save that $10 per day for 15 years. In 15 years, how much would that money be worth? That was her explanation, something like
Very
that.
true. Very true. Very true. Very true. Absolutely true, Miss Veronica. Good. So it's glad to know that people are at least clear about the basics of it. For example, the current currency's value reduces as time passes, but if it is invested, its worth will remain same or more over a period of time. Absolutely correct, Miss Emali. That's a very comprehensive answer. Good to see that. Just give me 30 seconds. I need to put this laptop in charging. Okay. Slowly and steadily, we will explore the time value of money to the great extent, but we'll start it with the very fundamentals of it. And I tell you, the people are getting stuck in the fundamental only. Okay, so Mr. Vishal is telling about the inflation perspective. Yes. Now, see, there are two perspectives to look at the time value of money. Try to understand. Many of the people are getting confused among these two. Many of the people are taking it solely from the inflation perspective. No, it's not solely from the inflation perspective. It is also about the opportunity cost of yours. Some people would be like, sir, what is the opportunity cost? I'm coming into it. Don't worry. Say, one is the inflation, which is straight away said by the economists. Called inflation, which is there in the economy. Now, more and more currency notes will be printed in the economy. The value of the money decreases. And that's pretty much understood as well, right? Because your government can make you poor and rich, and that's why there is a concept of cryptocurrencies nowadays. Because see, what happens is you have 1 lakh rupees. I'm just giving you one example, just 1 second. Say you have 1 lakh rupees. I'm giving you a very simple example. And the total money in circulation in the entire country is 10 lakhs. So basically, you are the owner of 10 percentage of the economic resources in your company. So you are keeping your 1 lakh rupees idle, 1 lakh rupees only. And by the afflux of time, this 10 lakhs rupees of currency circulation in the entire economy gets increased to, if the Reserve Bank of the national country will be, printing more and more number of new notes. Say the total money in circulation is 20 lakhs. So now basically you are just a 5% owner of the economic resources in your country. Earlier, your purchasing power was 10%. You could buy 10% of all the things which are there in the place. Now you are able to buy only 5% of all the things that you are able to see in the economy. So your purchasing power reduces over a period of time. Now, because of the fact that we have more and more capital goods nowadays, the production is getting increased. The so many number of things and services are being manufactured and being sold. That's why the currency in the circulation is increasing on a very, very daily basis. That's why you may affected with the inflation. The 1000 of rupees that you had received in 1990 is not equal to 1 lakh of rupees you receive right now. Both are absolutely different. Even the order matters. Some of the layman people do not understand, but I try to initiate the time value of money, explaining this concept to the students by giving these examples on a frequent basis. So you may also look at the example. Say you have two alternatives, right? You are getting the cash inflows from the two alternatives in this fashion. Year number 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Here in the year number 1, you get 1 lakh rupees or dollars, whatever the currency you are following, 2 lakhs rupees, 3 lakhs, 4 lakhs and 5 lakhs. So in total you get within 5 years 15 lakhs. Then in the year number 2 you get in the first year 5, then 4, then 3, then 2, then 1. So you get again in total 15 lakhs at the end of 5th year. Now which alternative you will be preferring? If you have the option to select only one out of this two. May I have the interaction from the students, please? Which alternative which you will be preferring? Miss Vaishali is saying one, okay. Others? Hemali is also saying one, okay. Miss Saraswati is also saying one, okay. Anyone else having a different opinion? Try to analyze it. Take your time. If you want to change your opinion, you can change the opinion as well. We are bound to change, our opinion gets changed over a period of time. People do not understand it. Some people told me that, sir, you posted something in 2015 in the Facebook. Now I say that I am different from what I had posted in 2015. My intellectual level was quite low at that time. You cannot compare Ronak sir or any one of you from what you had posted in 2015 and in 2021. People gets changed over a period of time. You cannot take the permanent decision based on the temporary situation of anyone, because people are tend to get changed. Anyway, let's move ahead. You can change your opinion. That's what I wanted to say, if you want to. Sir, you can repeat the question, please. You have the two alternatives. You're receiving the cash inflows. You are receiving some cash in two alternatives. But you have only one option to select out of this two. Now, whether you would like to receive 1 lakh rupees in the first year, then 2, then 3, then 4, and then 5 over the 5 years time horizon, or you would like to receive 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 during the 5 years, which way you would prefer to receive the money? Change your opinion over a period of time, not a hypocrite, please, because our opinion gets changed. That's a practical approach. We shouldn't be bothered too much about if we are changing the opinions over a period of time, because your intellectual level is something which gets updated on a very daily basis.
Sir, there was a lag. I am confused with the question. The question is how, in which way you would like to receive the money, right?
True.
Okay, then second one, sir.
Second one, okay. And that's what only I said, no, earlier as well, that say you are receiving the cash inflows. So which one you will be preferring? So second one has been stated by whom? I guess he was Jaidev, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, so Hemali, Saraswati, as well as all the students, Vaishali, all are saying it's first one. Hemali is quite sure about the first one. Okay. Miss Veronica is also saying the first one. What is the logic behind the first one? Can you explain it? All those who are saying the first one, what's the logic behind it? Why you would receive 1 lakh rupees in the first year and 5 in the last year? Why? Anyone? Justify your answer. No, you are saying that, sir, first one should be preferred. Understood. But why first one? Okay, Mr. Jaidev, if you want to explain about the second one, why you are preferring the second one, please?
Sir, for example, I'm just trying. You just correct me if I'm wrong. Suppose we are having 5 lakhs rupees in our bank, right? So the inflation rate is 7%. Public and bank is giving 5%. Public are thinking they are adding money by 5%, but in reality they are losing their money by 2%. So in this case, if we are getting more money at first, we can invest in various, diversify our portfolio and get better returns in futures. So I will choose 5 lakhs
Very
first.
okay. Okay. So may we have the huge for Mr. Jaydev here, please? I'm going over there, and one of the students from your class only said me that, sir, there is an emoji option over here from where we can put the round of applause for you.
Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
Now, why the first shouldn't be selected? Why the first shouldn't be selected? First of all, try to understand. See, that's gonna be the introduction of the time value of money. We'll we'll go in the details of it in the next session. See, the earlier you receive the money, no, it's better for you because there is something called opportunity cost. Now you cannot compare the 1 lakh rupees you are receiving in the first year with the 1 lakh rupees you are receiving in the fifth year. Because my dear friends, the 1 lakh rupees in 1 year, first year, is way more valuable than the 1 lakh rupees you will be receiving in the fifth year. Money today is better than the money tomorrow. Money today is worth more than money tomorrow. Please put it in the back of your mind. Money today is worth more than money you receive tomorrow. Now try to understand it logically. Say you receive 5 lakhs rupees, that is as it is beautifully explained by Mr. Jaydev. You have the additional amount of 4 lakhs rupees in the year number 1 itself. Now that 4 lakhs rupees can be invested further for how many more number of years? Can be invested for further 5 years. Then in the second year, you get the additional amount of 2 lakhs rupees in the second alternative. You may check it. Now this 2 lakhs rupees which you are additionally receiving, no, in the second alternative, my dear friends, again, you can invest it for 4 more number of years. But the additional amount of 2 lakhs rupees you get in the first alternative, you can invest it only for 2 years. And the last additional 4 lakhs rupees you are receiving in the first alternative, you can invest it only for 1 year. So whether the interest of 5 year would be more or the interest of ज्यादा होगा, किसका रिटर्न ज्यादा होगा? आप किसी चीज को 5 साल के लिए इन्वेस्ट करते हो तो रिटर्न ज्यादा होता है कि 1 साल के लिए इन्वेस्ट करोगे तो रिटर्न ज्यादा होगा? Obviously 5 years, right? Yes or no? So money you are receiving at the earliest mode, no, it's better for you. Now please put it in the back of your mind. जितना पैसा आप ब्लॉक करके रखते हो उतना आपके लिए अपॉर्चुनिटी कॉस्ट बढ़ता है. You have lost the opportunity to invest this 4 lakhs rupees for 5 more number of years. You are losing that opportunity. So as I have stated, there are two dimensions to look at the time value of money. One is from the perspective of the inflation. Another one is the earning power of money. One is the inflation. You people are aware about it. Everyone has understood it well. But then there is something called earning power as well. Money carries the earning power. If you are stealing the receipt of money, you are losing the earning power of that money for that period. It is as simple as that. So that's why I always tell it to all my students that keeping the money idle is the worst financial decision you can ever make. Indian people, specifically if I tell you, are doing a lot of savings. The savings is, they are immune to do the savings actually. That wouldn't be the over exaggeration. But the problem is they are saving it in the idle cash in Tijori. Still, many of the families I have seen in my relative circle, they are saving the cash physically. If you are keeping your money idle for 2 years, you are losing the earning power on it, my dear friends. Even at the risk-free rate, without taking any risk, if you would have invested that in the government security, you would have earned 7 to 8% return on it. Some people say me that, sir, we have the black money. We cannot disclose it. Understood. Say you are paying the tax on it. What amount of tax you will pay? 20%. If your black money, which is in a cash, comes into the banking system, that becomes the formal money now, the legalized money. Say you are paying the 20% tax on it. But my dear friends, if you are keeping your money idle for 3 years, then 3 years interest is much more than this 20%. Pay 20% tax and put it in the formal channel. Because even if it is there for 3 years, no, in the formal channel, you can earn 7 to 8% of the interest, even from some of the riskless assets, where there is absolutely no risk. Anyway, there are various other things to be seen. I'm not telling you to take the binary decision in 1 or 0. There has to be the multivariable analysis of any problem in any situation. You cannot take 1 or 0 in life, like accept or reject. No, I'm not telling that, but at least you should think about it. Even if you will have to pay 20% on the tax because you are putting your black money into the formal channel, pay it. Because if you will be keeping that idle for 3 or more years, you are losing the too much of interest on it. Your money gets doubled just in 7 to 8 years to come, if you are receiving some moderate returns. So that's the introduction of the time value of money. We'll explore that further in the upcoming sessions. And one more thing about the time value of money we have specifically for the business analytics is that we'll not be solving the pen paper questions here for the time value of money, because it's been given to you in the first module itself that these exercises are going to be the Excel based exercises. So we'll explore the Excel and we'll use the functions, inbuilt finance functions of the Excel. So that's again the humble request from my side that you should bring the laptop from the next session, at least for 3 more sessions to come. Is it clear, everyone? May I have a confirmation, please? All of you? Okay. Please put your enrollment number as a mark of your attendance. That's it from my side. Bye-bye. Take care. Sayonara. Enjoy your rest of the day. Miss Emily, I'll definitely answer your question. Please keep it. True. Yes, true. Apart from our syllabus recommended books. Okay, I'm sharing one textbook today only. I guess that textbook is enough for the time value of money understanding for you. I'm sharing that too, all of you. Okay. You may leave now. Bye-bye. Take care. Sayonara.